I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. Folks, I want to show you what took place at a House of Representatives hearing yesterday in the Oversight Committee, and the hearing was called Overdue Oversight of the Capital City, Part 2. The mayor of Washington, D.C. was questioned, as well as the United States Attorney for Washington, D.C., Matt Graves, who's responsible for overseeing the January 6th prosecutions of all of the insurrectionists. And you may recall Part 1, that was when the big focus was on public urination in Washington, D.C. That's how the MAGA Republicans were spending their time talking about that. But in Part 2, Marjorie Taylor Greene and the MAGA Republicans basically attacked Matt Graves from the Department of Justice, again, the United States Attorney from Washington, D.C., for his prosecutions of January 6th insurrectionists. I want to show you right now this moment from yesterday's hearing where Marjorie Taylor Greene stated that she was going to introduce articles of impeachment against the Honorable Matt Graves, United States Attorney, for his prosecutions of January 6th insurrectionists. And I want to talk about this clip, but let's play this video.
Already abuse your position by maliciously prosecuting at least 1,000 people from January 6th, but you recently announced that you're going to arrest at least 1,000 more. Let me remind everyone the manner in which you go about your January 6th prosecutions. A man named Matthew Perna, who had no criminal record, peacefully entered the Capitol through an open door on January 6th. He stayed inside roughly 20 minutes. He didn't assault anyone, not a police officer, anyone. He didn't damage any property. He fully cooperated with the FBI and eventually pled guilty to all charges. But right before his sentencing, you, Mr. Graves, asked the judge for more time to object to the pre-sentence report, by the way, while you weren't prosecuting many of the crimes in D.C. This was so that you could ask for at least a few more years in prison for the guy that walked around in the Capitol for 20 minutes, not assaulting anyone. And this is what you've done repeatedly, over and over, for those who've pled or have been convicted on January 6th. Well, 2 weeks later, Matthew Perna hung himself in his garage. Mr. Graves, he was 37 years old. On March 9th, 2022, you dropped the case against Matthew Perna because he was dead. The time for weaponizing the Department of Justice needs to come to an end. And because you refuse to prosecute real criminals that are violating all the crimes here in Washington, D.C., and you want to talk about D.C. residents, they are victims of your abuse of power. And because of that, I am introducing articles of impeachment on you, Mr. Graves, and I yield back the remainder of my time.
So there you have one of the leaders of the modern day MAGA Republican Party, Marjorie Taylor Greene, saying that the reason that she will be introducing articles of impeachment, she says, against the United States Attorney from Washington, D.C., is because he was prosecuting and is prosecuting January 6th insurrectionists. And again, you may recall our other reporting where the very first congressional delegation sent by this new House of Representatives, it was sent to the January 6th insurrectionists who were in prison. They sent a whole delegation of individuals who fist bumped and high-fived and sang songs with the January 6th insurrectionists. And there you're seeing it for yourself. Marjorie Taylor Greene saying that the prosecutor should be impeached for criminally prosecuting insurrectionists. And then she mentions someone by the name of Matthew Perna, and she says that he entered the Capitol peacefully, which, by the way, is not true. There's video of him throwing something, looks like a pole, a metal pole, at the door, and then throwing what maybe appears to be a can of something at it. When he was arrested and spoke with the FBI, he stated that Perna claimed that he was inside the Capitol building for only 5 to 10 minutes, which was actually false. In a later interview, Perna admitted that at one point he had become frustrated, and using a metal pole, he tapped on a window of the Capitol building. That's how he framed it. She said that he deserved congratulations for not assaulting, I guess, directly a police officer, as though that's something that should be like rewarded. You just, in general, you shouldn't attack police officers. I don't think that requires any kind of extra recognition if you just do the right thing. But
your pets are a member of the family. Don't feed them like they're in the doghouse. Give them Num Num. Num Num delivers fresh dog food with every portion personalized to your dog's needs, so you can bring out their best. Num Num's made with real, whole food you can see and recognize without any additives or fillers that contribute to bloating and low energy. That's because Num Num uses the latest science and insights to make real, good food for dogs. Their nutrient-packed recipes are crafted by board-certified veterinary nutritionists, made fresh and shipped free to your door. Num Num's already delivered over 40 million meals to good dogs like yours, inspiring millions of clean bowls and tail wags. Now, I love my dog so much and feel better giving them the nutrition that he needs. And my dog loves the food and other benefits that he's seen. Plus, Num Num comes with a money-back guarantee. If your dog's tail isn't wagging within 30 days, Num Num will refund your first order. No fillers, no nonsense, just Num Num. Go right now for 50% off your no-risk 2-week trial at trynum.com/Meidas, spelled TRYNOM.com/Meidas for 50% off. trynum.com/Meidas. Thank you.
I don't even think that's true, because even though he never made contact with any police officer, it did appear that there was some degree, at least, of violence while he was inside the Capitol building. He claims that it was using a metal pole to tap on a window. He pled guilty to all of the charges, and Marjorie Taylor Greene admits that. And then she faults Matt Graves for asking for more time to object to a pre-sentencing report. So what she's saying that he should be impeached for is because he filed the appropriate documents, the sentencing documents that you are supposed to file. And on that basis, he should be impeached. I mean, what are we talking about here? Again, lawlessness from the MAGA Republican Party. But I want to remind you of this. I mean, do you remember probably a few months ago at this point, back in March, where Donald Trump held that rally, one of his rallies that he held? And remember, instead of the Pledge of Allegiance, remember what they asked the audience to do? To put their hands over their heart and to sing the J6 choir song that Donald Trump sang with the January 6th insurrectionists. And then they went on to play the song. Let me play a portion of this. Play this clip.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and place your hand over your heart for the #1 song on iTunes, Amazon, and the Billboard charts, Justice for All, featuring President Donald J. Trump and the J6 Choir.
So this is not normal. This is not normal behavior. And while the media tries to normalize this Republican Party, the people aren't going to be gaslit. We see for our own eyes what's taking place. I mean, you have, again, of all the hearings you can hold, the Oversight Committee hearing was oversight on overdue oversight of the capital city, Part 2. That was their hearing. And then they called in a United States attorney who's prosecuting terrorists, prosecuting insurrectionists. And then you have Marjorie Taylor Greene in the typical unhinged fashion of her and the other MAGA Republicans saying that he should be impeached for prosecuting terrorists. And then you have Donald Trump, their cult leader, making songs with a band of terrorists called the J6th Choir. You got the MAGA Republicans in Congress sending congressional delegations to J6 insurrectionists in jail to play board games with them and to fist bump them and to sing songs about Let's Go Brandon or whatever the heck they're doing. I mean, folks, this behavior is astonishingly traitorous, and we just have to call it out. But know this, the pro-democracy community is far bigger than the MAGA Republicans, far bigger than this MAGA Republican base. And so just keep spreading these videos, share these videos, let people know, let family members know what these MAGA Republicans are all about, how extreme, how radical they are. You don't need to watch large media networks anymore. You could just cut the cord because, again, they're just gaslighting. And just view it for yourself. Evaluate the facts for yourself. This is them in her own words. That's her in her own words. The MAGA Republicans in her words. This is what they're saying. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1.5 million subscribers. Let's get there by the summer. Thanks to your support. Check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch, and wherever you get audio podcasts, subscribe to the MeidasTouch podcast as well. Thank you so much for watching this. And again, hit subscribe on our YouTube channel and check out the podcast. Have a great day.
Hey, Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram at MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.